Dun, 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 dun.
All right, we are live on YouTube.
Yo, welcome to After Further Review. No music, no problem. We're here, we're ready. Episode 71, right?
72.
Episode 72. How about you tell us a joke, AFR Squad? What you got out there? Any sports jokes going on in the world right now? It's kind of a light week for us, so we need some content. If anyone has anything they want to talk about, bring to our attention any stories they uncovered recently.
Yeah, and if anyone's watching from the sports card side of it, welcome. I know there's been some news sports card wise. The Dallas Card Show just had someone stole $2 million worth of cards from someone, just like this calculated heist. So that's one big topic.
Calculated, so this was whole plan.
Yeah, there's two guys distracted him by talking, and this guy changed his shirt and acted like he worked there and stole a briefcase that had a ton of Mickey Mantle rookie cards, some Willie Mays rookie cards. It was valued of $2 million. So the police are involved.
Because you can get the money back, but you don't get the cards.
Yeah, well,
that's
those old cards, if you crack them out, newer cards, some of the serial numbered stuff, there's no way to not a company can flag it and see, but an old Mickey Mantle card, there's no way to know that that's the exact same old Mickey Mantle card or something. So, but yeah. That's a crazy story, but we got a fun podcast. It's gonna be a little more randomness, and I think we're excited for it.
Yeah.
Minutes since we went off the rails on one. We've been so focused these last few months.
Yeah, we've been dialed in. Been dialed in after last week and some of Ben's freezing cold takes. We need to get back to what AFR is all about. So the randomness, MLB Allstars. Obviously, we can break them down. All-Star game a week away now. Ben's got a story time with Benjamin about the 2021 White Sox and how they've completely just fallen off the earth since. Back to our segment, Random Box Score. Haven't done that in a hot second. Excited to get back onto one of those. Some 30 for 30 guys in the MLB. Surprisingly enough, I thought there were a lot more. Only 60-some ever in the history of baseball. Some franchises don't even have a 30 guy. And then, of course, our weekly Chase NASCAR update.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped.
I'm pumped too. Let's get into the MLB All-Stars. Should we bring up the list, or we can just talk about it? Phillies, you guys got three starters. Big year, obviously. First half, really great. Probably as great as you can expect. You got 3 potential Cy Young candidates right now, and you guys are just cruising. But I wouldn't sleep on the Braves still. Still a lot of baseball to go.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the Braves are always locked and loaded for a trade, and they've just been pretty solid considering the amount of injuries they've had to deal with and people they've had to replace. So it's great that they're able to do that. But yeah, for the Phillies, I feel like it's cool. It's nice to get the recognition, but sometimes I feel like I don't put too much in the All-Star nods just because there's a whole second half of the season that matters way more than the first half.
Yeah. And to the Braves, I mean, of course they signed Chris Sale, and he's back to the pitcher of old, and he's right now number one. He's in odds-wise and everything, number one for the Cy Young in the NL, and just of course that would happen with the Braves.
And Reynaldo Lopez? Is that also big hit off of him? I feel like he's been almost a journeyman. Is that a good way?
He's not old, but he just hasn't lived up to his potential anywhere
not
else.
At all.
No, not to this extent.
Him and Chris Sale both. Are they both All-Stars?
Yeah. Chris Sale might start. I don't know. He might start.
Ridiculous. And quick shout out, Kate Sabo jumping on. Shouting out the AFR fan. We appreciate you hopping on, Kate.
Sure.
Kate, we have a light episode. Anything you need us to touch on? Philly's got 5 All-Stars. I know you got to be hype about that. Kate lives right outside of Philly. Been to more baseball games than probably all 3 of us combined so far this year. So she's definitely living up the hype of CPB. And
how do you feel about Baum and the home run derby? It feels weird.
Boom?
Oh, yeah.
Boom, Ben?
Baum.
Oh, Baum's away in the home run derby.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of a doubles machine. It feels like a lot of doubles guys in the home run derby.
Yeah, I agree. Although I do like the field. I feel like it's going to be interesting with Bobby Witt and I don't know, just some of the younger guys that I really wouldn't have expected, like you're saying, with Bohm being in it. And yeah, I feel like the way he swings, he's not really a home run guy yet. I feel like he'll grow into that because he was such a singles guy. Now he's a doubles guy. So I think the home runs will come quicker.
Yeah.
But this doesn't mess up his timing or anything like that or get him too jumpy for just hitting home runs.
Yeah, well, and the biggest thing is you don't want him to, the home run derby to affect his swing. You always get a little scared with that type of thing and make sure he doesn't come out of the All-Star break just with a, loopy, fly balls type of swing. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, Kate called you out also for saying bomb. And she also made the point, I think Harper and Schwarber both, I don't know if they're both in the lineup tonight, but they're both back. I didn't get a chance to check before the show, but
Harper was fine.
Yeah, and so obviously hype. But yeah, when I was a kid growing up, the home run derby, I never got fazed by it. Like I loved watching Bobby Abreu. I forget 2004, 2005. That was an awesome year. But now, ever since, I feel like when I got into fantasy baseball the one year, and I think it was like Todd Frazier I had, and he just like batted like 150 the rest of the year after that. It was like, oh my gosh.
For the rest of his career after that.
Yeah, just like, oh, is this real or is this just like
There's
a one-time
been a few
thing?
guys that have just kind of come out of that. It seemed like their whole swing got screwed up.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't think I think it's gotten a lot better over the past few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kate confirmed, by the way, Schwarber and Harper both in the lineup. Phillies with the early lead. So, obviously, I mean, big push. A lot to break down still, but big push here with 1 week left. I'm sure every team wants as many wins as possible going into what is probably feels like a month for the baseball players playing every day, getting off almost a week. So,
yeah, and I'll just quickly touch Mets standpoint. They're hovering around 500. They're 1 game below. They can't really get over 500 right now. The bullpen is a mess. I will say the Pete Alonso as their all-star is atrocious. He should not be an all-star. He is an all-star specifically for the ratings of the home run derby, is in my opinion. I don't think there's any other reason he's an all-star. Lindor is only one of 2 guys, shortstops, to be 15 and 15. He's got, I think, the 5th highest WAR in all of baseball right now. Nimmo's having a much better year. There are between Lindor, Nimmo, and even Mark Vientos, those 3 guys should have been all-stars way before Pete Alonso.
Do you have to be an all-star to be in the home run derby?
No, but Pete most guys won't, like, he wouldn't have done it if he wasn't an all-star.
Oh, that's right. He's not in it.
So hopefully, I hope Lindor will be a replacement for someone, but Pete should not be an all-star. That was I was so salty.
Let it out. Let it out.
He shouldn't have been an all-star. They specifically did it knowing he would do the home run derby and knowing he's a 2-time champ and it would probably help with ratings and things like that, in my opinion. Lindor definitely deserved it. For a shortstop with his production, he's been really clutch this year. I mean, just against Aroldis Chapman 2 days ago, Mets were down 2-1 in the 9th. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and he comes up and hits a 2 RBI single off of Aroldis Chapman, who was just throwing gas. Well, he was gassing himself out too. Mets
he can still throw gas.
He was throwing 103 in that 9th inning.
Ridiculous.
So I just don't like that. I think it was just a really bad sign. I mean, you look at like Christian Walker. I think he was one of the main comparison guys who definitely should be in over Pete, and I totally agree. Just more of the popularity aspect, which is unfortunate for some of the guys that got in. But
a little bit of the New York fan coming out of bed. I mean, just seems like they got the Julius Randle hate.
He's also not clutch at all. If you watch Mets games, he is one of the most unclutch players. There are like 6 other guys I would rather have in a clutch spot besides Pete Alonso. I know Pete Alonso is like a big name and he hits home runs, but he is not who you want up in a clutch situation.
Is that why I feel like you are getting fired up because like when I think of the New York Mets, he's still easily top 2 right now. maybe Lindor edges him, but when I think New York Mets, like Pete Alonso comes to mind. So is there like some frustration because of how much?
I mean, he hits home runs. He's not that valuable to the team.
Would you be okay if they traded him?
I mean, he's a free agent at the end of this year, and he's a Scott Boras client, so he's probably not going to sign until next May.
Gosh, it's just crazy. It's just wild. I mean, I'm glad it's good.
Him.
It's good to get it out because
I like him. He's a homegrown guy who they drafted in the second round. It was supposed to be Dominic Smith as the first baseman of the future, and Pete Alonso just kept hitting, and he was the guy. And it's fun to see a guy hit home runs. I mean, I think he's already top 10 all time in Mets home runs. And
wow.
But he just, the Mets have a lot of great players that are not Pete Alonso. That's all. I mean, he's hitting 240 with 18 home runs. I don't want a 240 guy in the All-Star game. That's just that's all that there is to it.
What? Yeah.
That is really bad.
MLB doing the most. They're trying to get some.
Yeah. I mean, Mark Viento's at third base. He hasn't played. He doesn't have a whole lot of stats, but he's hitting 300. He's got like 10 or 11 home runs, 40 RBIs in like 2 months of the year. I mean, that to me is more of an all-star. I mean, the Guardians have that David Fry, who's an all-star.
Yeah.
One of their five. He's got like 170 at-bats. And so, I don't know.
Yeah, and if Alvarez probably stayed healthy, he probably would have got an all-star nod too, just because of
Alvarez is, if he can just stay healthy, he'll be an all-star. I mean, Is
there any game? Is it like NBA where there's a certain amount you have to play? Or?
No, but he missed. He had a.
He missed like a month and a half or 2 months.
I was gonna say he missed 2 months. I think it was
a
hammy or a broken hand. Something might have been a broken hand or something. I don't know. But yeah, he missed way too much to qualify. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just I'm excited for the All-Star game. I just hope there's a Lindor and Nimmo get in too.
Any other surprises by either of you? I mean, obviously Pete Alonso is like probably the number one surprise, but
David Fry was a surprise for me.
That's true.
Yeah, that is pretty surprising.
I was like, who the heck is this? I had to honestly look it up, and I feel like I know a decent amount of the guys.
Who made it from the White Sox? I didn't even look.
The White Sox had, I will tell you right now.
Because every team doesn't have to get one either, right? Every team gets one.
Jared Crochet, which I don't mind. He's
that makes sense.
That's kind of cool. Every team gets one.
Yeah, well, that's where there's some guys that there's like you can find some really random all-stars because of that. I think everyone that most people deserved it. Were you guys surprised at all that like Christopher Sanchez didn't get in?
In a way, yeah. I thought I don't know, I was surprised that Hoffman and Strom got in. I thought that was
Strom was a little surprising.
Yeah, Strom, especially because recently
Strom's also a huge sports car collector, FYI. He is like one of
really?
Yeah, he there's a couple of times he's worn like sports car themed cleats, and he's like a huge he's on Instagram like always like at shows collecting like his own cards and stuff, and
dang,
he's like a really big. Anyway,
at least somebody's collecting his cards.
I wonder if he's the one that got the $2 million. No, I don't think so.
No.
Just kidding. I like Strom a lot. I feel like he was a big advocate whenever the MLB switched to the pitch clock last year and the games are significantly shorter. He was a big advocate in stadiums that had last call for alcohol after 7 innings instead of after 8. And a lot of people were like pissed because they had a lot less time to drink. And obviously the games went quicker already in one less inning. But he was a big advocate for that, especially with everyone trying to leave the parking lot right after the game. So ever since then, I kind of liked him. Then he's been pretty solid. I don't know if he's an all-star this year, but I mean, he comes in, he does his job. He's professional. He's like who you want to come out of a bullpen. So I'm glad that he's still on the team. And it's cool to know he collects cards too. Maybe we'll run into him on a show. You're going to the National Card Show Ben's going in Ohio. I wonder if I guess he wouldn't be there because he'll be playing.
No, I did see the Guardians are playing though Thursday night. I don't think we're gonna go, but I was like, I could add that to my stadium list. Which, by the way, found out I was at the old Reds Park. I think I told you guys, but when I was a little kid. Don't remember it at all.
There's 17.
Yeah.
4 parks that aren't around.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, which
Current
that Reds
parks.
Park I think it was like only there for like 8 years or something, or some random thing.
Yeah, it
like
wasn't there long at all.
No. But I don't have any issues with most of the other.
Wait, so you went to the
selections.
old Reds Park, but not the new Reds Park?
Yeah, I've never been to the new one. And it opened in 2002, which is weird because I've been to my cousins plenty of times who live like 15 minutes from the park. I don't know why. I'll have to get there at some point. So, anyway, we can move on from All-Stars. Yeah, I guess I wanted to. This is going to be really short. I saw a post and I thought it was pretty interesting on the White Sox downfall. So this is a 20.
Welcome to Story Time with Benjamin. Speaker Benjamin. Oh, you're Ben.
Appreciate the intro, Ryan.
I really gotta get some music to that.
All right, so I'll just bring it up here as we talk. So here's the 2021 White Sox.
I want to zoom that in a bit for the folks out there reading.
Zoom in
for
here.
our grinders out there. By the way, Kate gave us a shout out. She dropped off, but
Appreciate it.
yeah, appreciate it, Kate.
So we got the 2021. They finished first in the AL Central, 93 and 69, which is pretty impressive. Tony La Russa doing his thing there.
Year after the COVID season too, so it wasn't.
Yeah, they lost to the Astros, but they're just. I want to look at their top. You can just look at their top players this year.
This is right now.
This was then.
This was then.
Yeah.
Okay, so who we got?
You got Lance Lynn, who is still doing okay, and Rodon. Got Tim Anderson, who is that should be studied as like one of the biggest fall off a cliff stories ever. I don't know what's happened to him ever since that punch by Ramirez. Giolito has, I think, pretty much fallen off too. It seems like Moncada what is he doing these days?
I have no idea.
I think just cleaning off third base for the White Sox now.
Grandal, I think, is about done. If he's not already,
I think he's done.
Robert's still doing his thing. Still pretty good. Dylan Cease now in San Diego. Abreu has just fallen off a cliff.
Which he never was like hot for years now, I feel like.
Oh, I don't know.
Has he? I feel like last year it was rough.
He hit 296.
He hit 296 last year?
18 home runs. And
no, he didn't. He hit 237.
Oh, I'm sorry. 237.
Yeah.
I went OPP.
But he's a lifetime 283 hitter. That's not too bad.
Okay, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, with, I think, an MVP, right? Yeah, MVP.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Dang. And he didn't start in the MLB until he was 27. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, wait, what's his he got MVP? Yeah, he's got some stats. Already over 1,500 hits too for not even.
Wow.
Yeah. He's.
Damn, if he would have came earlier, he probably would have even had better stats.
Liam Hendricks, Lurie Garcia, who I don't think is in the MLB anymore. Yeah, his last year was 2022. And then I don't know what Adam Engel's doing anymore.
Okay, yeah, but he's number 12. No one cares about him that year either.
Right, but so the basis of their starting lineup in the game one of the ALDS was Tim Anderson, who's unemployed now, Yohan Moncada, who's always hurt, Abreu, who's unemployed now, Grandal, who's just completely washed. I don't even know if he's playing this year, and if he is, he's probably not. Oh, he is playing. He's hitting 182.
Money.
You got Luis Robert, who's still pretty good. Eloy Jimenez, who's always hurt. Adam Engel, who's not playing baseball anymore, and Lurie Garcia, who I think is in AAA or also out of baseball.
So their entire team, which was great this year, pushing 100 wins. Majority of these players are just done.
So it's just the fact that like they had their whole starting lineup just like fell off a cliff. Like, I don't know. I feel like you always have a guy or two that like comes out of nowhere or something, or like starts performing better, and all of them just like hate it. And you even got Yerman Mercedes, who
look at their bench. Look how garbage that bench is. Garcia, Goodwin, Zach Collins, Madrigal, Mendick, butt, Angle, butt, Billy Hamilton, butt, Jake Lamb, butt, Zavala, butt.
Is this just
Nick Williams?
Nick Williams
the
was
worst.
There was the Phillies dude. What's he doing these days? Is he in? He's got to be in a minor leagues or something, right?
No, he's probably selling Bibles out of the trunk of his car.
He's got to
God.
be doing something with baseball. Maybe he's in like the Atlantic League.
Yeah, but this is all the 2021 White Sox squad, right?
Yeah.
So this is just is this just a prime example of a team that randomly came together that shouldn't, or are you saying?
Oh, he signed with the Toros de Tijuana Mexican League, and he hit. Oh, he was with the Hawana Eagles last year and hit 244. If
It's not that bad in KBO.
that's not great though.
Yeah. It tells you something if they didn't even want you back.
Oh, he went from the Mexican League to back to the Mexican League.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
he was crushing it his first year. He was batting 370 with the Tijuana
29
Toros.
home runs.
Damn.
He went 84 games.
Dang. Crazy the competition, just how that wavers. So anyway, that's all I got for that. It was kind of crazy.
So do you think it was just like this shouldn't have happened? Like they shouldn't have won 90 games that year? Or do you think?
I think it was a lot of things, one of which they shouldn't have signed Tony La Russa to begin with. I think a lot of people don't think he should have been signed. It was like a really young team who I don't think Tony La Russa really gelled with he was able to like hold the locker room together and like connect with guys that young, and a lot of them who, let's be real, were foreign guys, and he's an old school like manager, and I just don't think it worked. Like he had that whole Yerman Mercedes situation where he like benched him when he like hit a home run when it was 3-0, a 3-0 count home run, and he benched him when they were up by like 10. He hit a 3-0 home run, then he benched him because of that or something. Like,
yeah.
And then like your Mercedes career is like ruined. But I think that was one of the issues. And they got some unlucky stuff. I mean, they had some bad trades. You know, obviously number one comes to mind was Tatis as a prospect. That's the number one bad trade. And
the Tim Anderson thing's weird.
Tim Anderson's weird, and that I don't think anyone would have seen that coming the way it did. That's kind of.
Liam Hendricks got sick. I know. I think he's still pitching,
but
he got cancer. It was just a lot of weird things. What the heck? Would the White Sox be the team of the decade if it weren't for all this?
No, I don't think so.
Would they be going to 7 straight?
But you look at the AL Central, and it's always every year like pretty wide open. Like if they're able to field a competitive team, they could at least.
Gosh, it's such a division that's like wasted. It just reminds me of the old NL.
Well, now the Tigers and the Royals have some really good players and are playing well, and the Twins are still doing well. And now, and obviously the Guardians. So now the White Sox are really just toasted.
It's weird to me how consistent baseball is. I know the payroll makes a big difference, but like, I feel like just thinking about both the AL and NL Central the last like 40 years, for the most part, have been just a random crapshoot. Just like that dog who's ripping crapshoots right now.
I don't smell it.
Oh, you will.
I smell it. All right. Well, on that note, random box score time.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So I will just share the screen to Baseball Reference, or it doesn't have to be Baseball Reference.
No, we can do a baseball one.
All right. Where do we want to go? And if anyone who's watching has anything they want to share, please put something in.
Yeah, if they want any random box score about to dive in right now.
Yeah.
We got cricket, we got tennis. Let's go baseball though. We'll stick with baseball.
We could click on a random baseball player and then go to a box score from that.
All right, Q.
Okay. All right, Chase. There's only
56 players, Chase.
All right.
There's
2 Mel Queens. What the?
I'll just keep going down.
Let's see. There's guys with one name. Let's pick one of them.
Okay.
Which one?
One with one name.
Oh, just this guy?
When?
He only played
There's one above that, too. There's another one above that.
Oh, Quinlan. Everybody 1874. Oh, Quixie you played in.
And Quixie.
Oh, yeah, Quixie. That's relevant. Yeah.
Oh, well, he only...
He was crushing it. 429.
Oh my god!
What happened? There's not even a picture.
He
What-
debuted, had 7 at bats.
What league is? Oh, this is the Negro Leagues.
What happened to him?
Oh
He
god.
was so quick. He ran out of stadium and never came back.
I'm
See, this is why we shouldn't have done this, Ben.
yeah. This
Look,
is a bad idea. This is a bad.
now
idea
we're
on my
down
part.
to learning about Quixie, who definitely actually 100% of people today living today have never heard of. I'm calling it. I don't think any baseball fan in the entire world has ever heard of this guy.
He's on. It says a Birmingham Black Barons. It doesn't say anything else about him. I don't know how we find out about him.
We'll put in his full name.
What's his full name? It literally just says Quixie.
Quixie McQuickpants.
Why do they okay, I'm going to have to give Baseball Reference a little, like, I don't want to say why is he on here, but, like, I can't get anything from this.
Yeah.
All I know is he batted 429 in 3
7
games.
at bats.
In 7 at bats, 3 games. And he's just gone.
Yeah, I don't know. The teams.
That was a terrible hole.
that hole was like 2
We just
shovels.
jumped in and it was a puddle and we just ate it.
Oh, the league leader in home runs was 10. Oh, there's Turkey Stearns though.
Oh, turkey.
All right, let's just pick a box score and we won't do
All
that
right.
other thing.
The Quixie did not pan
Let's
out.
pick like a year. Someone start with like a year.
No, let's go All-Star game because the All-Star game is coming up.
Okay.
Let's go All-Star game.
Okay.
From,
What year? Chase, you want to pick a year?
okay. Let's do 1976.
Okay.
I'm gonna say like Tom Seaver. was in
Anyone
that
still
game.
playing from then?
No.
Probably.
All right, let me go back to.
Yamir Yager.
All right. There we go. We got the giant ad that we got to skip. Oh,
Oh,
This
it's
is
a
a bunch
rough
of
one.
Zach Edey and his family.
All right, so it's the
7.
1976 All-Star game.
Oh, is that Veteran Stadium?
No way.
That's pretty cool. They did it in 76 at Veteran because it was like the bicentennial.
Oh, yeah.
Only 2-hour game at night. NL 171.
All right, the starting lineups.
Oh, they're loaded.
Oh, the Mets.
The NL starting lineup is loaded. Johnny Bench, Pete Rose,
Dave Kingman,
Dave Kingman.
Mets right fielder. Greg Luzinski. Oh, wait, Rusty Staub and Thurman Munson, George Brett. Sparky Anderson.
All right.
Oh, Larry Boa down here.
Oh, and even Bill Russell.
And Mike Schmidt.
Oh, Hal McRae. That he was one of he was on my AFR team.
Oh, Don Money. Oh, I've
Molly
never heard of
Fingers.
that guy.
Catfish
Sparky
Hunter. He was on our
Hunter.
name bracket. Where's the box score at though,
Did
Ben?
you hear about the story about Catfish Hunter, by the way? His actual name is like Jim Hunter or something, and the guy who drafted him was like, his name isn't cool enough, so I'm gonna give him a different name, and basically, and it like stuck.
Oh my gosh. Where's the actual box score
Here.
though?
Down here. All right, so you got Fred Lynn, looks like, who had a home run off. Oh, Tom Seaver.
Oh, the pitchers had to hit then, right? Probably, yeah, because
Yeah.
there was
They
no
probably did pinch
there
hitting,
was
though.
no DH though back
So
then.
Fred Lynn hit the home run off Tom Seaver.
Oh, that's
All
awesome.
Stars. You had Pete Rose going 2 for 3. Cesar Cedeno. That's a name I haven't heard. Hit a home run. Ken Griffey. George Foster. Cesar Cedeno.
Oh, Larry Boa.
I wonder how many times it happened that like in those years, but there was Don Money and Dave Cash.
Yeah.
Those are
Also,
two
you don't see starting pitchers go 3 innings anymore.
How much do they pitch?
Like 1.
One? No.
Max 2.
No.
Yeah, they
All
definitely
three?
try to get almost everybody.
They do
in.
not.
They just want everyone to pitch. Is that why?
They do not. Yeah, they do not go more than 2. Who won the
It'd be
MVP?
great if they just sent them out there full 9 innings.
Yeah. Was there no MVP back then?
I guess not.
Huh. Interesting. Bake McBride.
There was no MVP. Well, what's the MVP named after? Is it someone playing in this game?
The All-Star Game MVP? That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is it?
What's his name?
Get Stat Guy on that.
Stack Guy?
Do you have any idea, Chase? Any guess?
No idea.
Hmm.
I feel like they just give him a car usually.
Yeah, there's like the trophy. Oh, it started in 1962.
So they
who
definitely
won,
had one.
who won 76?
George Foster.
Okay. What did he do? Let's go back.
Old beer can Foster.
Beer Can Foster. What do we got here?
George Foster.
Foster.
He had a 3-run homer.
Okay. And they won 7-1, so obviously the deciding factor. Oh, look at them sideburns, though.
Not a Hall of Famer. He's still
World Series champ twice, got an MVP, no Hall of Fame. Damn.
did some. What does his MVP year look like? Oh, he had a nice stretch right there. 320 and 52 home runs, and that's a good year in 1977.
Damn.
That is a nice year.
Were roids even around back then? Is there a possibility he did them?
Nope, just pure cocaine.
Yeah, I don't
well, I
think
guess
so.
there's that. This was the big red machine, too, so he was one of the top players on one of the top teams.
Nice 2-year stretch.
Ben, you don't even know this guy you put on the Mets.
I mean,
Oh, my
Pretty
gosh. And then
cool,
was he on the Mets cocaine team? Oh, my gosh, Chase. You hit it on the
no,
head.
he got traded. No, he got traded.
Oh,
he wasn't.
yeah.
I mean, he was, but
They
he wasn't
had to
on the-
trade him.
He wasn't on the World Series team.
Is he the reason?
No,
That all the Mets guys
it definitely would have been Doc Gooden or Darryl Strawberry before George Foster.
George Foster's the reason the Mets are known for that. And he wasn't even there.
Definitely. His nickname is Yahtzee.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Yahtzee Foster.
That's awesome.
About to get you a George Foster jersey.
Yeah, I like that.
damn! I'm about to put on some George Foster highlights after this.
Yeah, I'm in. I didn't actually know he played for as many teams as he did. I always remember him from the Reds.
Yeah, he's a great Immaculate Gray guy.
Giants, Reds, Mets, White Sox. Dang.
Awesome.
All
That was
right.
fun.
Yeah, that was a good time. All right, we can go out and then do one more deep dive here, and we will do some 30 for 30. So for those who don't know, I think all of us kind of thought there's more 30 for 30 guys.
We'll quickly break down for all the non-MLB diehards out there.
Sure. So 30 home
How
runs.
does a player becoming a 30? How does a player become a 30 for 30?
So you get
guy?
30 baseballs over a fence,
Okay.
and then you
Sounds
get
easy.
30 stolen bases.
Sounds like there should be 700 of them.
Sounds like there's only 69 as of January 3rd. There could be
Any 30 for 30 guys this year? 30 and 30?
Lindor probably, but he's already been one. The only new one might be Ellie. Oh, Bobby Witt and
De La
Ellie.
Cruz.
Yeah, because he's got 15 home runs and like 45 stolen bases.
45?
Yeah,
Yeah, but there's bigger bases now.
yeah, it's
Guys throw harder, though, too. I guess it.
He's also big, isn't he? Like 6'5".
yeah, he might be 6'7".
That's true. There's a lot
That's
of
such a
huge-
crazy division. You have O'Neal Cruz and Ellie De La Cruz, and they're both like 6'8".
All right, so this is gonna ranking it by club. Are we ready?
Yeah, let's do
You
it.
guys see this?
ranking it by club. Okay,
That's what
okay.
it's
Chase,
called.
can you read this? Okay, yeah.
Zoom in
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit.
Blast away.
All right, we'll do that later. And first up, we got the Giants.
So-
And 3 times for Barry, 2 times for Bobby, and 2 times for Willie. It stays in the family.
Holy crap! So 69 guys or 69 times.
I think it was 69 guys. If I 69 times.
Times.
Oh, so it's not
So
guys.
Yeah.
so 7
There's-
of them were from Giants
Mhm.
of the 69, and it's crazy that 2 of them are Barry and Bobby, and then obviously Willie Mays, who might have did it more, right?
Yeah. Maybe we need to look up 40-40. Barry had a 40-40 year.
Yeah, Barry also cheated.
Yeah, along with the whole entire league. But we don't want to talk about that now, do we?
The MLB definitely doesn't want you to.
All right. Braves.
Braves have 6. So they have recent. They have
Acuna.
in the only 2 years that he was healthy.
Yeah.
He had 73 stolen bases last year.
Yeah, but it's cheating. It's the new bases.
Stop. God,
It's
he's going
crazy.
too
He
far.
doubled the amount of stolen bases he could get though from
Yeah.
that rule.
Well, it's the bases and then it's the throwing over. It's a combination
Yeah.
of the two.
Oh, what is it? 2 times in a bat? Or
Yeah.
like 3?
Two, and you have to get him with the
Do it.
third, right?
Yeah, 2, and then if you don't get them on the third, they automatically get the base.
Does he get the steal?
No, like if he just throws back a third time and like
Doesn't get him.
doesn't get him, he just gets the base. He gets to go to second.
Oh, that's not
So-
speeding the game up. I'm sorry.
Um,
That's crazy though, because
Yeah.
he had literally 2019 COVID, which no one definitely got a 30 for a 30, and then basically injured knee, 73 stolen bases.
yeah, and Gann, I'm surprised. I didn't realize Ron Gann had 2. That's pretty cool.
And he almost had it a third time.
Yeah, I
It's
see
set
that.
there.
And Hank Aaron, another goat.
Yep, for sure.
Dang. So
All right.
wait, after the first 2, we're already at 13.
Yeah. All right, we got who next? Oh, the
crap.
Mets. All right, Lindor. Last year. Daryl Strawberry, Howard Johnson, underrated for sure.
Yeah, that guy was raking
Yeah.
for those years.
Underrated.
Are you surprised David Wright has a 30 for 30? With
No.
how little? Yeah, but with how little there are in the entire MLB. Are you surprised David Wright's one of the 69?
No, I just he was I'm not surprised.
I don't
Well,
remember the
Lindor's
wheels
really-
on David Wright.
Yeah, his spinal stenosis really got him.
Yeah.
Lindor's about to get it again this year though, which is crazy.
He seems like he's really shaving him out though.
Yeah, but do you see this? They became only one of 2 teams ever to have 2 30-30 guys. 1987.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is crazy.
Holy crap! That both. Dang.
Yeah, they were just obliterating people right there.
All right, what's next?
We got
Who
the
we got?
Brewers.
Brewers got 4, and we know 3. We've been around for 3 of
Yeah,
them.
Tommy Harper.
Dang.
Hopper.
So we got Yelich, cheater, Tommy Harper.
Harper had a 73 steal campaign
Damn.
with the expansion Seattle Pilots.
What?
I don't even remember the Seattle Pilots were. a
No,
team.
I didn't know that either. I wonder where they win or if they just didn't make it. That's definitely on the books for a story.
Yeah.
It's a great story time with Benjamin
For sure.
Squad.
All right. Next up, we got the
Moving on.
Rangers. Bobby Bonds just a tank. Just doing it.
Oh my
everywhere.
gosh.
Yeah,
Is he
by the
only one
way,
more-
we're going to see him a few more times on this list. He's not done yet.
Oh yeah, it says that right here.
Oh my gosh. Also, Alfonso Soriano, one of my favorite non-Phillies.
Wait, so Barry
Yeah,
and
growing up.
Bobby the only 2 with 5 ever?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my god.
So they both have 5.
Yeah.
I feel like Bobby's underrated. I feel like he gets
That's why
overshadowed
he was
by
on my all-time list.
Yeah.
That was a great pick, Chase. That was a great pick, Chase.
After
I'm
seeing
so-
this list, though, it solidified it. I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe he was, but now that I'm seeing this written out, I'm like, yeah, no, he for sure was. He would just seem like a
Soriano.
psycho in the clubhouse.
Yeah, dang. Soriano's underrated too.
Yep, one of my favorite non-Phillies of all time, honestly.
Yeah, dang. All right. Astros, no surprise there.
Yeah, Jeff Bagwell.
Yeah. Bagwell had an I was
Dang.
surprised with the speed that he
I'm
had to Salt
surprised
Lake.
that the Astros have no one in the last like 8 years with all their great teams. Altuve, he's got to have gotten close, right?
I don't think Altuve is super
Carlos
fast.
Correa. I guess Altuve's tiny.
And I don't know if Correa's ever really hit third. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cheaters on this list, Ben. That you should have known.
Who are the other ones? I didn't even see many. I saw Braun. That's true. They got the Dodgers, Matt Kemp, Raul Mondesi, raking.
Matt Kemp, I think that was his MVP year, if I'm not mistaken.
Isn't that Christian? It might be.
2011 might have been.
No, it says he lost the NL MVP to Braun.
Oh
Bro.
my god! All right, next. What do we got? We're already at like 50. We got like 19 spots
The
left or something
Guardians.
ridiculous. The Guardians, Jose Ramirez, Grady Sizemore.
Yeah, that dude fell off too.
Yeah, he did.
The injuries really.
We could
got
do an
him.
entire podcast.
Him,
on
you could do
Grady
like him and
Sizemore.
like Jacoby Ellsbury.
Oh yeah,
No.
nothing too special here.
Oh, found Soriano again.
Oh my goodness.
Vlad Guerrero.
Oh, he was on the Expos. Oh, is that the dad? Another father son. I didn't realize that they
Yeah.
were both that good as
Black or
well.
Vladdy.
Vlad's better, I think, than Junior.
Yeah, I
Did
agree.
you say Vlad is better than Junior?
Yeah.
Okay. When you said Junior, I could put the pieces
Yeah.
together.
All right, you got your Phillies here.
Oh, the Phillies.
Yeah, Bobby Abreu was destroying.
Yeah.
I did
Look at
not know
those
he
numbers.
was that fast.
I didn't know that either. And to put that on top, he was such a pro hitter. So every
Yeah.
time he got on, he was dangerous if he wasn't cranking home runs.
Wow, he was truly. I feel like he's really, especially because in that time frame, he was right before the World Series, and then definitely overshadowed between Rollins and Howard. Like I feel like Abreu was really overlooked for the Phillies in the 2000s.
Look at this year. That 2007 year is ridiculous from Rollins at MVP. Because look at this. He had 20 triples. Like that's
Oh my
ridiculous.
gosh.
And 139 runs.
Yeah, that's insane.
Bro.
That's like Duran this year, who's doing doing that.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
All right, Reds. There's a guy, Brandon Phillips.
That's your guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I realize AFR's guy.
He's one. It's like him and OJ Mayo.
Oh, OJ Mayo, Brandon Roy.
There's some players that are so deserving. Like if Phillips wasn't on this list when we saw the Reds, like
Yeah.
I would tell you to stop here. But he's on, so we can keep going. We have to be inclusive.
Eric Davis and Ricky Henderson are the only members of the 2080 club.
That's so crazy.
20 homers, 80
Yeah.
stolen bases.
What's the most stolen bases ever in a season?
It's got to be Ricky Henderson.
Did he ever get till 90? Has that ever been done?
I think he's been over 100. I'm pretty sure he's been over 100.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Now you're saying that, that does sound familiar.
Yeah, 130.
Oh,
Damn.
that's almost one a game.
10
He was
home runs.
cooking. 23-year-old Ricky Henderson. Oh,
10, he's the only 130 guy.
true.
If I'm a pitcher, why wouldn't you throw over every time? It just didn't matter.
The fact that he wasn't even in the MVP consideration this year when he had 28 and 87. I mean, I know he only had 263, but
In 82, well, what did he finish top 10 in MVP? 10th?
yeah.
He was 10th and he had 130 freaking bags.
His MVP year, he had 325.
Holy smokes, 130 bags.
Yeah. Anyway, he's the all-time leader in runs, stolen bases, and caught stealing. But that makes sense that he's also.
I don't care. You steal 130 bags. That's ridiculous.
He's also a good immaculate great guy because he traveled at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's like went to all.
That's
these
crazy. He played up till he was 44, though. I mean,
25 years in the league. That's insane. Yeah, look at all these. Look at all these teams.
How many stolen bases did he have in when he was 44? 33?
They had 3.
And 0 caught stealing? Is that the next column over?
hey, he aced them.
I mean, even though Seattle at 41 having 31 stolen
Oh my
bases is
gosh.
pretty crazy.
Wait, where's the home? Is this home runs? Which column's
That's
home
right
run?
here.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if he
I mean, he had a good year with the Mets at 40. He was with the Mets. He had 315 with 12 home
that's
runs.
crazy. Maybe he was on the roids.
Just because he was on the Mets.
No, because it's the 90s. You just said everyone cheated in the 90s, Ben. Nothing to do with the Mets. Even though.
All right, we'll go back.
Okay, let's go. Moving on. Down to the Rockies.
Damn.
Larry Walker. Bichette and Alec Burst.
Yeah.
The 1996, two guys again.
Is that Bo Bichette's dad?
Yes.
This is ridiculous how many dads we've seen with,
Father Bichette was good too.
but with sons that have are panning out.
Yep.
Like now I have some belief in Bronny James right here.
There you go. Oh my gosh, Alfonso Soriano.
So he did a 4.
Yep.
That's 4.
And Bobby.
And Bobby Bonds again.
Why was Bobby Bonds traded so much, Chase, if he was this successful?
Because I
Wasn't he?
think he was just a psycho. Like,
I was gonna say, I don't think in the clubhouse he was very
yeah, and I think he had really bad drinking problems too. So he's probably just a nightmare of a player to keep track of. And
Like a Dennis Rodman. I'm trying to think of a comparison. I guess modern day MLB guy would be better
yeah.
to compare him to. I don't got one.
I don't know. So
So
all right. Mariners. Julio and A-Rod. Not surprised with A-Rod. A-Rod a 40-40 year.
Oh my goodness. That was probably before he was cheating. So I'll give it to him.
1998? I don't think so.
Might have been peak.
Oh, you got a 1922 guy in here.
Oh, Ken Williams, the St. Louis Browns. That's awesome. Cedric Mullins
Is he the first ever, Williams? Was he the first ever to do it?
Oh, I don't know. I think he's definitely one of the oldest ones on this list.
We have not seen anyone remotely.
Because even the Yankees, for as long as they've been around, all of them are so recent.
Yeah, Bobby was the first one for the Yankees, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So Mantle was close with 30.
Yeah, 30-21.
And Ricky Henderson had the 28-87 year. That's kind of cool. Dang.
Yeah, 1922. Wow.
They did that when the Orioles had a 100-loss year also.
That is ass for him because, like, nowadays, like, you might get some nice pay or some clout, fantasy stud, nothing back
All
then.
right, and another Bobby.
Does he have more than Barry?
No, they're tied for the most ever at 5.
Okay.
Barry's probably going to be on this list for the Pirates whenever they come up.
Dang. And Mike Trout didn't get it that year because Miguel had the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
This is not a name I would have thought would be on here.
By the way, there were a lot of players in the late 90s.
Yes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
a lot of players in the like 2003, like 23 time. There was like 4 last year.
That kind of sketches me out. Is something going to be uncovered in like 5 years?
Well,
the
no,
bigger
it's just-
bags.
yeah.
The bigger bags. The rules.
Yeah.
What was? Oh, I just want to look up Jose Cruz quick because that is not a name I would have ever thought
Joe.
would be on here.
Oh.
I'm just gonna look real quick here. What he had one really good year. Oh, he was in the league for a while.
Another good grid guy. We're not going to remember any of these names.
He had a couple good years right here.
Yeah.
He had a good little stretch.
Damn, he was on an absolute garbage 2008 Houston Astros.
Yeah.
I think that was their last year in the NL too, right? 2008.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, they were bad.
Yeah, and he was really bad also.
God.
He's also,
I think-
like you said, he's a great grid guy.
Oh, yeah.
Dang. All right, we'll go back. Sammy Sosa, no surprise.
So
Is this
basically,
crazy?
the only people who are on this list are people with the new rules within the last year or two, literally last year, because there could be more this year. And then basically the 90s.
No, there's some 80s guys. And
It's just crazy how hard this is.
yeah,
It doesn't seem like it should be that hard.
Preston Wilson. He was on the Mets.
Hanley Ramirez, also one of my top non-Phillies ever.
I like
Him
it.
and Alfonso Soriano, definitely either top 5.
I like it.
Both of them.
Hanram.
Oh, there's
There's Barry.
before the steroids.
Okay, I'll give it to him.
Just cranking it out.
Yeah.
50 stolen bases.
Oh, him and Davis were the only 30-50 guys before Acuna.
Dang. Some Barry Bonds home run highlights in an empty stadium.
Yeah, those Pittsburgh teams weren't great.
Look at that stadium.
Yeah, they have.
Such a great chance of getting a Barry Bonds home run ball that year.
Oh, for sure.
I guess no one really cared about that stuff back then.
I got Betts and Ellsbury.
Okay, that's respectable.
Yeah.
We gotta be getting towards the end now.
That was the one I was surprised Garcia Parra. I thought he would have had it, but he didn't have it.
Oh, back in the late 90s.
Well, he was good in the
No, yeah, I know.
like he never hit a lot of home runs, so I never thought he did it. Like he was never a big home run guy. Like some of those guys had like random ass spikes where they hit major home runs. It's like, wait a second.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Canseco.
Also, the Athletics have one and it's just a 40 for 40 guy.
Yeah, and it's a big steroid dick wad. Sorry, that was inappropriate.
I see.
Canseco is like the most notorious dickhead of all time.
Oh, is he just
He's just an ass.
Did he use steroids too?
Yeah.
Oh my god! All right, let's.
But he's just not a likable person. Bobby Witt.
Bobby Witt.
Oh,
Okay, so now we're on to the zeros.
yeah, the 0 Cardinals closest call.
Goldie.
The D-backs.
I was gonna say Corbin Carroll. If he didn't have such a bad year this year, he seems like the guy that could do it for them.
Oh yeah, easily.
He's definitely got an injury or something. He doesn't look right. All right, who else? Padres.
The Padres. Oh, Will Myers was the closest. 1L Will.
I can't believe. I feel like Tatis. Well, I guess he doesn't steal a lot of bases.
Tony Gwynn.
He doesn't hit many home runs. I don't think he ever hit close.
That's right.
He was never as fast.
It's just weird the names that are the closest. Like really, Ray's BJ Upton. That's who you're gonna put up to the plate to get a 30 for 30.
28 and 31.
Dang.
Tigers. Oh, that's
Oh my gosh.
It's close.
There's a lot of nuns.
Corey Koski. That's a name.
That is a name. White Sox.
All right, that's it.
How many teams? 1, 2,
3, 4,
7.
17 to 0.
That is insane.
Yeah. And it's weird too because some of those like historic franchises you would think it would have had to have happened, but it almost never happened in the like 50s, 60s, and then started popping up in the 70s, it seemed like. Except for that one guy in the Negro Leagues in the 20s. He was before his time.
He was the only one from the 20s.
Yeah.
And I think like Aaron was like the only one from the 70s too.
It makes me feel like that like baseball analytics have always like the analytics have always been a part of the game because it is also like there's like chunks of years where there's a better chance. I feel like it's just like the play style, like how the coaches wanted to try to win games.
Yeah. Well, there's also like the physicality aspect then where like people could try to steal bases, but you might literally run into a guy's kneecap and they would like, or like a shoulder because that's just how they played.
Okay.
Yeah. And so maybe they weren't risking it the same either. Like you had the Albert Bells of the world who were just like decking people.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking of like some like the pitchers throwing like 70 mile per hour off speeds. Like you would think you could get a nice jump.
Yeah.
I know. Like, the physicality part.
It was cool. I'm glad we went through that list though, just because it's really interesting and it's guys you would never guess or have to think twice about. And I don't know, it's just one of those things that obviously now, since we saw how many guys did it last year, probably just going to be more of a regular thing. But it's one of those neat aspects of baseball where you can just see how it changed over time.
Yeah, no, and I'm wondering who this year. Like besides, I know Lindor and Cruz are probably going to get it. I don't know who else. Probably Bobby.
That's a lot.
Probably Bobby Witt again too.
There's 69 ever. If there's 3 this year, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. And if Acuna was healthy, he probably would be on track for one too.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to imagine just based off his work so far, he already did it twice.
Yeah. I mean, and someone like, I don't know, like if O'Neal Cruz were to put it together, he could probably do it.
I mean, were there a lot more like pitcher parks back then too? Like I know the Yankees players always hit homers, but like I'm just trying to think. Like I remember like when I looked up like 1800s guys, none of them ever hit homers.
Yeah, well, that's why some of those like like the Polo Grounds in Shibe Park where it had like down the line was really short, but then you got any gaps and
it was like 500 yards out, feet out. Yeah.
So like I was gonna like if you were especially some of those players, like I feel like the Oakland A's, like the Coliseum was huge.
Yeah.
So to like hit homers wasn't that easy.
Yeah. Or even like when I was watching the Willie Mays documentary, he said how many of the Giants players lost out on home runs because of how windy the old stadium used to be. Mm-hmm. Or like they would literally just be blowing in so hard off the bay that they would hit balls that would easily go out anywhere else, but they just wouldn't because of the way the stadium was built back then.
Yeah. And it'd be interesting to see like compare baseballs too. Like have a ball lined up from like the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and just see like there's a difference too.
Well, you guys say sometimes every year seems a little different.
They change them.
Yeah, they do.
They definitely screw around with them a little bit. So
They probably reused baseballs a lot too back then, which I would think would be the advantage to the pitcher, but maybe not.
Yeah, well, you got the spitball also going on. That was a thing, big thing.
But yeah, it's just wild. That's why I know, like, Ben, especially, you're a big stat guy, but baseball, it's like one of the few sports that it's so different because of how different the stadiums are. Like, like the Bronx Bombers, it's like, oh yeah, we have all these home run hitters, but it's like you also had a nice hitter friendly park, whereas like old Marlins Park, literally like today, still no one I think has more homers than Giancarlo Stanton because of like how big that park was. And now they shrunk it in, but it's just wild to me. Like you can't we look at stats like this, but I feel like if you were actually watching, like when you watch the game, you can really like knowing where it is or who was the home like players based off of where you were at.
Well, that's why if you look at the it's WRC plus when you look at stats.
Okay.
So if you were go to
teach me.
If you go to I'll just go to, I don't know if they still did it back
then. This is about to be my favorite stat.
Jose Cruz. If you go to, maybe it's an advanced, do they have advanced stats? Oh, here, advanced batting. Do you know what I'm talking about, Chase? WRC plus.
Yeah, run contribution thing.
Yeah, maybe a newer guy would have it better.
Oh, well, that's going to really hurt my chances for these old guys that we don't even know where they played.
It's got to be in here because it's not. I feel like it's not a crazy weird stat. Like I feel like it's used.
Yeah, I feel like I see it on Yahoo.
Yeah,
you still got to keep going down to advanced stats. Advanced batting.
You can do see more advanced batting.
Where was it?
If you go back up to where we just were.
I gotta go back up.
Oh man, you were down there.
Yeah, it brought me way down.
Oh my gosh, you were down there.
See more.
Oh, this is a rabbit hole in itself.
What's it doing?
Go up.
Where do you want me to go up? It's not there.
Go down.
Going down.
What the heck?
Dang, the one stat I would care about is not even
there's more.
Okay, but there is a stat that incorporates that.
What's that one website? Fangraphs. Yeah.
Or it's not WR. It's WR. Is it WRC?
Yeah, WRC plus. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it runs created.
Yeah. So it takes number into account external factors like ballpark or ERA.
Okay.
So, but normally I've seen it. Yeah. So if you like,
leaderboards. Here we go.
2003. Oh yeah.
Oh, that looks tiny.
Oh, this is for
the team.
Or player stats. We want player stats. All right, here we go.
What is this again?
This is Charlie Colbert. All right, we got to do it by games here.
Oh yeah, we gotta.
Oh my goodness, this is getting really intense. This breakdown box.
Where's the
minimum playing time?
Where's that, Chase? Oh, here. Just qualified, I think would work.
Yeah.
All right, that's probably good, right?
We can do 2024 actually. All right, so
what is this stat again? Can you
weighted runs?
I can go back to what the thing says.
Weighted runs.
Yeah, so it's weighted runs created plus. So it takes statistics, runs created, and adjusts that number to account for important external factors like ballpark or ERA. So weighted runs plus of 100 is league average. 150 would be 50% above league average. So
of what? The number 100 is.
So like if you go back to here and you see like a guy, so like this guy,
he contributed to that many runs.
So no, it's his. So like Brent Rooker, for example, so his WRC plus is 153. So that means he's 50% better than the league average
as a player.
Yes,
based off of.
Yeah.
external factors.
So there's other things. So like it says here, an example, like a player who plays his home games at Coors Field is going to automatically have a lower WRC plus.
Okay. I like that.
Oakland. So this is the actual formula down here that they use.
How far back can you go? Can you pick an old year? Oh yeah, juicy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, go to like 67 back when Lil Nell played.
67?
Yeah, that was his MVP year, I think. Maybe not.
So here were the top guys in 67.
Oh, so Hank Aaron's number 7. Okay, so he played in Atlanta. So he might have faced either easier pitchers and maybe a little bit easier of ballparks, stuff like that.
Definitely never heard of Tony Gonzalez on the Phillies, by the way, but it's a separate. But yeah, so
okay,
so it's another
WRC
stat.
plus.
Little.
And I usually hate stats.
Yeah, I know you do. You
Okay.
hate war.
I do.
You're not a war guy.
I do. I've grown to tolerate it.
Yeah. But I mean, so Fangraphs, I guess, has. I'm surprised that Baseball Reference doesn't have it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I wonder what the highest year was for weighted runs.
Your career.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It's 1871 to 2004 or 2024. Oh, Josh Gibson.
Oh, Josh Gibson. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Then
He only played 500 games compared to Babe Ruth at 2,500.
Oscar Charlton. There's a few of the Turkey Stearns. Turkey Stearns above Barry Bonds.
Well,
Yeah.
Babe Ruth.
Look at the WAR differences, though.
Dang. It's stupid Mike Trout. If he just would have stayed healthy, he probably could have been top 5 on this list.
Yeah.
Not that he's stupid. His stupid body, I should say.
I know. Mule Suttles.
Heavy Johnson? What?
Oh, no. No.
I gotta click on Heavy Johnson.
All right, next year when we do the name bracket, we're perusing this list for names.
Oh, I feel I gotta go to
Heavy Johnson.
Are we even done? Wait, we're not even done the name bracket yet.
No, we
We
gotta.
started it in April.
No, we gotta finish that. Oh, I stopped.
So
sharing for a second. That's okay.
Whoever's been following the name bracket, we appreciate you sticking this one out. It's been.
Heavy Johnson just
Was
had
he a Negro League guy?
Yeah, he had 2 straight years where he batted .406 in the Negro League.
Goodness.
What a beast. Heavy Johnson. He sounds like a wrestler.
Yeah.
All right, new stat noted. I'm a big WRC plus guy.
Okay. All right. Well, we are running pretty late here. So, Chase, maybe just a quick on the current race, and we could talk about Poconos next week.
Yeah.
Talk on the race that just happened.
Yeah, this past weekend was the Chicago street race. So, pretty good action, I would say. Saturday for the Xfinity race was better. Sunday totally was a sham. It rained most of the race. So, again, they tried their best to run it, but it was just not good entertainment, I would say. Our guy, Christopher Bell, though, again, dominant performance. The unfortunate part was because of the way that the race was going, there was a big red flag caution and just a lot of incidents, but he changed his tires going into the last stage. And if he didn't do that, he would have stayed in first, probably won the race because Alex Bowman stayed out and battled for that position and then ended up winning the race and locking himself into the playoffs. So this weekend we had another guy punch his ticket. Alex Bowman, a guy who I talked about last week. I was surprised he was still hanging in there, hanging around the cutoff with Bubba Wallace. And people who have been battling Bubba Wallace have been getting the wins, except for Bubba Wallace. So again, and we'll take a quick stroll down Bubba Wallace's Sunday, see how that went. He got into a small accident, not his problem, and then just decided to do nothing there for the rest of the race, as typical Bubba Wallace fashion, and then got pissed at Alex Bowman and wrecked him on the last as he was doing his run around. So had a pissing fit just because he couldn't get himself back into a position where, hey, you know what? Alex Bowman wasn't in a good position all day and then ended up winning the race, and that's what it's all about. So they took a gamble and they paid off for them, and he locked himself into that position that Bubba Wallace has been trying desperately to get himself into here. So Got to give him that. The two favorites going into this race were definitely Larson and Shane Van Gisbergen. Both of them crashed. Kyle Larson, probably one of the scariest accidents I've ever seen. His tires locked up and he couldn't stop and just went head first into the wall. Basically missed all the tires that were protecting him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and the tires worked out well. There's a lot of guys who just because of slipping and sliding kept running into and bouncing off the tires, and they wouldn't have to put the caution out. So I feel like it was a great addition. And they're literally running on the streets, so it's hard and it was slick. So the paint on the road, plus the fact it was raining, made it really hard. Yeah, so basically just
Who's this guy?
Kaz Gralla. Yeah, I think he might be a rookie this year, but yeah, overall, I would say not that crazy of a race overall. It just got broken up, and then they had to stop the race at 8:30. So that was the other thing. Christopher Bell's team, he could have just stayed out and then just ran it out because it was a timed race. It had to end at 8:30 no matter what, or 8:20. So for Alex Bowman, yeah, so from when stage 2 ended till when the actual race ended was maybe like another 15, 20 minutes, which he could have easily – he was destroying everybody. There was no one could catch him. I mean, he just had dominant
cars. Is that his fault or is
cars.
that on his coach's fault?
I would say it's probably a little bit of both. He probably had the power to override, but I mean, strategically – typically, anytime that there's the race with the wet tires and then they go to switch, the people who switch first usually end up doing better. And he was gaining ground from the time he switched his tires, but just the fact it was on a time limit, like if he would have had the full time to finish the race, there was probably like 30 laps still left. He probably would have caught Alex Bowman because just of the fact that Bowman didn't pit and he probably gas mileage and tire wear. All those things would have played out. The track would have been drying out more. So he probably had a better chance, but just the time limit, he almost took himself out of the position. And I mean, Alex Bowman was running like his hair was on fire. He was determined. He was really just dead set on once he got to the first position, never letting it go. And he did it. They played it, they gambled, and they got the position. But good race overall. We're still locking up. I don't know. I think there's still a handful of playoff spots left, but there's only 6 races left until the playoffs start. So people who are still trying to get in, lock those positions in, are definitely starting to feel it right now. These
How
guys
many races left, Chase?
What's up?
How many races left, you said, until the playoffs start?
6.
6.
Yeah, 6. So all these guys who haven't gotten a win yet, who have been close, just dancing around it, need to lock in those positions because time's running out and the tracks are starting to get harder again. We have Pocono, and then we start running back through some of the ones we already went to the first time, like Richmond and Bristol. So it's gonna be tight action, some tough tracks for guys, and Daytona's in there as well. So really, that's the wild card race. Anyone who's in this position that doesn't have a win can hopefully just have a Hail Mary win at Daytona, but otherwise it's time. And Bubba Wallace, as you can see, 45 points out from making the playoffs. And the guy he's battling right now, Chase Briscoe, he's been hanging around these races. So he could be another guy that gets in a position. Kyle Busch, I'm pretty sure, has a streak of over 10 years straight with a win. So he's definitely due at this point in the season to lock himself in, hanging down there. And, a lot of rookies. And
you think Truex Jr. is probably going to get one, I feel like.
Yeah, and it's his last year too, so he wants to make this one count.
Just retiring?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's retiring at the end of the year, so that spot's open, and it's going to go to Chase Briscoe, I'm pretty sure. So from one of the Stewart-Haas guys, already locked up a position somewhere else, so he's good. But right now, he's out of the playoff position. I'm sure he would love to make it into the playoffs right now and be on a good foot next year for entering a new team. So there's a lot in it. There's other Stewart-Haas guys who want to get in this too because, like I said, they're closing up shop and they want to get in a good position too. So having the playoffs is definitely going to make you more attractive. And we'll see how the charter situation thing hangs out. But I would have to imagine Denny Hamlin's team is probably going to grow by a spot. So one of those drivers is going to end up there. It's going to be a lot to shake out. But it's
How
going to
many,
be meaningful these next few weeks.
Because this is pretty new playoff format, right?
Yeah, for the most part, like they've tweaked it over the last few years, but it's generally the same.
Because like I was gonna ask, like, I mean, I'm really getting like what if situation here, but 6
Yeah.
races left. You know, what if 5 of these guys who don't have one yet win one? Will someone be out of the playoffs who has a win?
I
Do you
don't
know?
think.
I mean, I don't know if that's ever even happened before. It might have never even happened before.
Yeah, I don't know. It could have happened just from the years that I was out of it, but I think if you get a win and then it just bases off of last one in count.
Okay.
So I guess if those last 4 guys get a win, then that's it. I don't think anyone else can make it in.
Okay. I like
Yeah.
that. I mean, with 6 races left, I mean, like you said, there's guys like Kyle Busch, I think Truex Jr. Obviously, between the top 4 guys here who all have 3 wins each, you would think they're going to get one between them 4, get a couple more. So, I mean, Chase Elliott could easily win again. But who's the defending champ right now? Was it Larson last year or was it Hamlin?
No, it was Ryan Blaney, who's in 7th position right now. Just picked up his win to lock himself in the playoffs like 3 weeks ago too. So he was struggling, and then that whole team in general, Penske, they've been hot. Ryan Blaney locked a ticket. Joey Logano locked in his ticket. And Austin Cindric also locked in his ticket. So all 3 of them made it in the playoffs, and they did it all within about a month span.
Dang.
Where they all just were struggling to make it on the deadline and then just bang themselves in. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
still
been a
feeling
wild
good
year.
though. I'm still feeling good about Bell because I seems like he's like really in every race right now. Like last 5 races, I feel like I mean, yeah, he didn't finish great this one, but he's been hot.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely been on fire. His car, the equipment, everything just seems like they're all on the same page and working well. And I mean, outside of Kyle Larson, who also didn't start a race this year, he missed an entire race and he's still first in points.
Ridiculous.
So that's pretty ridiculous that he's a race behind everyone else but first in playoff points. So, I mean, outside of those 2, yeah, Christopher Bell has definitely been one of the most dominant people, even in qualifying too. He's been getting a good start getting a good, starting in the top 10, if not from the pole, and then just never letting go of that position. So I like how hot he is right now. I think he's well into a good playoff position. I think if they can just tinker up some things, and then once the playoffs come, really take a hold of it, he's really got a good shot at this thing. I mean,
yeah,
it was kind of crazy when we picked him, but for sure he's been holding his own. So
I haven't watched much, but once the playoffs start, I feel like I'm gonna start throwing them on. I know it can start to conflict with football Sundays, and that can deter a lot of people away, unfortunately. But
we'll have the dual screen going.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have double screen red zone and NASCAR going at the same time. For sure.
There you go.
I like it.
All right. Well, thanks for the update as always on NASCAR Chase and.
This weekend Pocono, so it's a hometown race.
Yeah, and I'll be in the Poconos for the Spartan race. Whoever came up with that scheduling that was a brick.
You'll probably be able to hear the cars too. I mean,
catch a tire.
Cool, because the Spartan race is at Blue Mountain. It's like at the Blue Mountain. So it's probably not that far.
Yeah. I forget how far Blue Mountain is from.
Yeah.
Do they use tires?
Big Boulder, basically.
Tires?
We do, but it's not. It's like the big. Yeah, it's not those. But yeah. So we will we'll end it here especially for Spotify. We appreciate you guys listening. This one ran a little long, but we just kind of had fun with it, and did some fun things, did some rabbit holes.
Yeah. Shout out everyone: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, AFR for the fun of the hobby, folks. Instagram Live fans, Kate, Hannah. I saw you jump on and watching too. Appreciate it. We appreciate all the love out there. Just a fun little episode for us. We'll be back at it next week. And from Ben, Ryan, and Chase, episode 72, signing off. Peace.
See ya.
And now it's time